Yo, Judge, I know you used to do employment investigations, right? Yeah, what's up, man? Have you ever seen this dude on TikTok? Who? He's an attorney that gives advice for employees regarding their complaint. Oh, all right. I'm sure I've seen him. Why, what's up? I just saw a short that fell into your old stomping grounds and wanted to get your take on it.
Their job in an investigation is not to find ways to help you out. It's to identify how much risk there is to the company. They want to stop a lawsuit before it starts.
Well, obviously from his position, this is the angle that he needs to take. Folks are only going to go to him if they've got something going on wrong. I don't blame him for taking an us against them tack, but as someone who's conducted investigations into employee complaints of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation for almost 15 years, I can assure you that every HR department is not looking for ways to water down your issue just to protect themselves. Is it about mitigating risk? Absolutely. Is every investigator's goal to get information from you to protect their leadership? I can assure you it's not. I may have a guy's hand up my back, but I'm nobody's puppet.
When HR conducts an internal investigation, the first thing they want to see is how much evidence you have against them. Has there been a written complaint? Is there any documentation? Then they want to see if there's any witnesses. If there are witnesses in the company who might back up your claim, they're going to try to convince those people that it's in their best interest to not cooperate with you or testify things from the company's point of view.
For real? They do that? Again, trusting that this position is based on counsel's experience, I'm not in a position to say that he's wrong. But from an investigator's position, my job was to collect facts, documents, evidence, as well as determine if there were any witnesses. I would also seek information, evidence, and potential witnesses that the complainant didn't provide, because my job was never to absolutely believe or disbelieve anyone, but to collect the data and testimony that would allow me, to the best of my ability, assess by a preponderance of the evidence if any of the company's policies were violated. And before I get over my skis here, and granted, this is a single video, likely missing some context, but in my experience, most complaints are about an individual or group of individuals. Your supervisor, your coworker, the maintenance worker that keeps leaving you flirty messages at your desk, not the company. When a company goes external, the complaint transitions from that person to the company failing to protect the employee from the alleged behavior. So I think it's important to make that distinction. With that said, counsel is suggesting that a company is coercing employees to offer less than truthful testimony. I don't want to imply that, depending on the person who's accused, that the company will not try to protect that individual in some way. But I have never been asked or directed to suggest to a staff member that they offer a particular type of testimony, and have never been asked to alter my findings. Now, I have had leadership minimize the impact of my findings on a handful of occasions, but it never changed my articulation of the facts. So if there was ever an external complaint filed, and there was ever discovery on the company's efforts to address the alleged behavior, it would be documented. But could a company change what you wrote if they thought it would be beneficial? Anything is possible, but if there's any chance that I could be deposed in an external hearing, and if they knew anything about me or anyone that I've ever trained as an independent fact finder, well, as independent as you can be when you're both getting paychecks from the same place, that would end up being a bad day for them. Well, damn. Okay. What else does he say?
Internal HR investigations are to protect the company from you. Do not rely on HR alone to give you the proof you need for your case.
What say you, Ken? I'll take his second statement first. He's right. You have a complaint, so you never rely on HR to build your case. But that's because it's HR that you're complaining to. I've had plenty of folks say, well, do I have to give you evidence? Isn't that your job? Well, no. My job is to assess the evidence I collect, but you, as the complainant, have a job too. It is to articulate your complaint and provide any information or evidence you think will support your claim. That may include memos, emails, texts, Teams messages, as well as potential witnesses. It's important to understand that in any administrative investigation, I am not obliged to interview everyone that you want me to. But if, as an investigator, I'm not taking into consideration all of the potential evidence, run. Store what you have and what you've shared. Document every move that is made thereafter, and hey, maybe even consider chatting with Ryan, because the company isn't taking it seriously. Part of my job was to assess the value of a witness. Were they there? Could they have seen or heard what you're claiming is the issue at hand? Would that witness or set of witnesses have a vested interest in the outcome of the investigation? Are you buddies with them, which might lead to them being less than truthful? Even if I do speak with them, there are elements that I have to consider when weighing the value of their testimony. Because my intent is to understand your concerns, get as close to the truth as possible, and determine if there have been violations of policy regardless who the subject is. Well, damn again. Yeah, bruh. And I get it. Most folks have legitimate reasons to be skeptical about an in-house investigator's intentions, but there are telltale signs from the very beginning that can tip you off if you're wasting your time or not. Are they explaining their role in the policies before they ever ask a single question? Are they responding to any of your concerns before requiring any information from you? You have concerns about the confidentiality of the interviews and the investigation. You have concerns about the risk of retaliation. Are they being dismissive or giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly about how it works? Are their questions to understand your experience or to confirm their own interpretation or suspicion? Counsel is right. The point of the investigation is to protect the company. But sometimes the investigation is doing so by investigating your complaint, substantiating your claim, and excising the proverbial cancer that is the offending party. It can't turn back the clock on your experience, but it may save others. Consider this. In my experience, it is a small percentage of employees that feel strong or secure enough to say something, which means investigators have limited chances to address the issues. Your willingness to speak to me can have a positive effect on the culture of the team, your department, or even the business.